Spokesman Craig Harvey said his office will collect specimens from the deceased and send them to the county public department. Are they Hispanic? Because if it's this is really going to be a race specific if it only is killing Hispanics, which was determined whether either person died from the swine flu. If so, the U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention would be notified, Harvey said. Coroner spokesman Craig Harvey said Bellflower Medical Center reported the death of 33-year-old Long Beach resident Monday afternoon from symptoms resembling swine flu. The man was taken to the hospital Saturday complaining of shortness of breath and lymphoma, whatever that means. Doctors later diagnosed the patient with pneumonia, Harvey said. And now somebody else has died, but it doesn't say who. The man died April 22nd. Let me go ahead and print that for me, guys. Let me go ahead and go to this other one here. He sent me another one. Oh, boy. We'll continue to track that as it unfolds. Lauren in Colorado, you're on the air with our guest, Dr. Rebecca Carley.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good deal. Praise be to the master intelligence of the universe for letting me be able to speak to you, and praise to you on your good work, Alex. What I wanted to talk about here was these are my own opinions because I'm not a medical professional, but I have studied virology to a certain degree. And I think everybody needs to be very concerned about taking any kind of enforced vaccinations. The reason for that is that basically the strain that's going around is showing to have an extremely good transmissivity. And if by chance there is a H5N1 virus in these vaccinations, well, then the person getting vaccinated is infected with the current strain. Anybody that goes into the hospital and they say, well, let's give you this shot to make you feel better, if they're infected with the current strain and then they get infected with the highly lethal H5N1 strain, well, through genetic reassortment, which is where the genes of the virus swap, that's probably the fastest way possible.
That's what Bayer. That's what the scientists and doctors in the Czech Republic were saying when they caught Baxter. Bayer does the same stuff, mixing live bird flu weaponized with the regular vaccine. That was the perfect way to mutate it. Then have it injected in the body would mutate again. They are saying the Tamiflu causes it to mutate. Dr. Rebecca Carley, you want to comment on that?
Well, first of all, nobody should be taking any vaccine. I encourage the caller to go to my website, drcarley.com, read some of my documents, especially the document Science of Vaccine Damage. Vaccines don't just give you the infection. They cause a corruption in your immune system that leads to all autoimmune disease, non-traumatic seizures, cancer, and genetic damage in people and in pets. These vaccines have the potential to cause the extinction of humanity. This is how serious this insane practice of vaccination is, which is nothing more than medical voodoo. So vaccines do not protect you. They give you the infection. And even if they tell you that the virus is, quote-unquote, attenuated, meaning that it's allegedly made less pathogenic by passing it through different tissue cultures, that's how they get these viruses to combine with viruses in other tissue cultures. And these things can reactivate themselves. If you have any kind of virus in your body and you're injected with a vaccine, just as the caller was saying, these viruses reassort with each other. They combine DNA. They produce new mutants. And this has the potential of causing a huge problem.
Okay, Lauren, thank you for the call. Go ahead, doctor.
Yeah, and that's why what I'm trying to get people to realize is the whole vaccine situation is a scam on its face. And that is what's going to cause all the deaths. I encourage the listeners to check out a book, Vaccination, the Silent Killer, A Clear and Present Danger by Ida Oneroff and Eleanor McBean. They talk about the 1918 Spanish flu pandemic, which was caused by inoculations.
Hey, Ron Paul in 76 as a doctor was in a book exposing the swine flu, saying it's a premeditated scam to take control of society, to sell vaccines. It's a fraud. It's the vaccines that are hurting you. Let me give folks some new developments here. New York City Health Commissioner, this is Fox News, Many hundreds of school students sick with suspected swine flu. We knew this last night from We Are Changers, who have girlfriends and things that are in college, where they're saying, everybody's basically sick. The calls we're getting from Mexico from doctors and others are saying 70% of people are sick. I mean, if you can believe that, that is just unbelievable. City Health Commissioner Thomas Friedman also said Tuesday that many hundreds of school children are sick with suspected cases of swine flu. Bloomberg says the hospitalizations are separate from the outbreak at the private school in Queens. We know somebody at the Queens Hospital that's in hospital from that. The mayor says the hospitalized are children in the Bronx and an adult in Brooklyn. Notice it's always the government training camp where this happens. And you notice nationwide, all the, quote, kids, they get their federal funds who hadn't been vaccinated. They've been vaccinated in the last 2 weeks. I bet our bottom dollar that it'll come out in a week or two when nobody's paying attention that the vaccines have triggered this. It's always the same.
Exactly.
Always.
And I just want to say, I have CNN on in the background right now. We have this minion Napolitano on CNN now, reassuring people that there's no chance that this could possibly be coming from pigs. Now, I want people to also realize that all of the food source animals are inoculated, even farm-raised fish, okay? So here she is on television telling people there's no way that the food products could be causing this. How do they know that?
She's on the Tell Live Vision.
Pork.
You should believe the Tell Live Vision. Speaking of the Tell Live Vision, punch up CNN real quick for us, the propaganda channel or C-SPAN. I'll have it. But again, more cases there. Here's another one. Rio Grande City school closed due to swine flu. What's that, guys? Our cable box is out. What do they do with it? Cookie Monster take it? I tell you, that satellite is the cruddiest. We can't get cable where my office is. And these satellites are real pieces of junk. I just want that on record. It says retired Army General Russell Honore on CNN. Again, did swine flu come from lab? Los Angeles probe 2 possible deaths from swine flu. This is really getting insane. Okay, let's take another call here. Gabriel in New York. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex Jones. This is Gabriel Brown from Long Island, New York, looking at checkerboards in the sky with these chemtrails. But I wanted to give
that's better than Air Force One and the F-16s screaming between the buildings yesterday for a, quote, photo op. Go ahead.
I think that the comments that Joe Biden made months ago might be interesting because he said international incident, which is what we're seeing now. Of course, you got the chemtrails, which are making our immune system go down. You got, of course, marketing between the TV and big pharma. The fact that, look at the 1980s with the crack cocaine epidemic.
The CIA admits they shipped that in. Again, it's just everything criminal comes from this elite. It's just unbelievable how bad they are.
And you have the martial law plans, which you've been following your show for the last 3 years, and the mass graves. Everything you say about the elite is absolutely true. I've read history books. I have family members who work for all these industries. I know exactly what you're talking about. You do not lie about these people. I've been affected by eugenics, and I'm fighting these people on every level I can.
Me too. And God bless you. Look, and I wish this wasn't true. Look, I don't want to work 16, 17, 18 hours a day. I worked more than 18 yesterday. I worked 20 hours yesterday. That's not true. I took off for an hour and a half with my parents with my kids over there for dinner, and I even jumped in my parents' hot tub for 20 minutes. But the point is, so I worked 17 hours yesterday, and I want this to stop. I don't like this. It's not fun, but I'm dedicated. I know they're a criminal. I know we've got to beat them. We have no future. It's like I'm in a closed container with the water level rising, and I'm going, folks, I can't open the door alone. I need all your help. We need the strength to do it together. And there's all these people with the water raising going, that's not water. Hold on. I'm not drowning. It's kind of, shut up, conspiracy theorists. And then, it's like going above their head. I'm like, come on, help me open this door. Thank you for the call, sir. God bless you. Any other comments?
Yeah, sure. You do a great job. I want to give a shout-out to my friend Mike Schaefer. We Are Change, and again, I've been researching this for about 13 years now. I was woken up about 3 years when I came across your show by mistake for a Winamp link. So keep your streams out there. Keep them in random places. People find that stuff, like myself. Had no idea.
No, I know. That's how we listen. AM and FM stations getting a lot more shortwave, huge audience all over the world, but our internet, and I appreciate your call, because of our different servers and platforms and the poor man's way we do this, we're number one on Shoutcast. Number one talk, number one music, number one, and that's the big global aggregator that tracks everything. We're number one. And that's not even what half our streams. I mean, it's amazing to have, 30,000 people tuning in just on the internet, because an AM and FM audience is much bigger. Our AM and FM audience is probably 50 times that. One big AM might have 30,000, 40,000 listening at one time. Ted's actually gotten the ratings before he's a network, so he bought a big aggregate of them just from our affiliates that do subscribe. You only get them from those that subscribe. And 315,000 listeners per 15 minutes is what our AM and FM cume is, or whatever. Or no, it's listening at one time. I forget all the numbers, but it's 315,000 listening every 15 minutes. Then our time spent listening is a lot longer than the average 18 minutes, something like an hour. I mean, it's just amazing, just shy of an hour. And so there's that.